Hello, friends. Welcome to Backside Story Musings of a Gastroenterologist. Post 5 My Life as an Unproven Doctor Lessons of a Lifetime. Part 1 Miscommunication. The expert in anything was once a beginner. Anonymous. After medical school graduation, physicians in the US need to complete residency training in a specialty of their choice. It is a required step before commencing independent medical practice in the country. This foundational preparation is classically notorious for being arduous and taxing, but it plays a critical role in cultivating effective physicians. Resident trainees are unproven doctors persevering to inculcate professional and maybe personal maturity. Residency training programs throughout the nation are granted accreditation by a non-profit private council called Accreditation of Graduate Medical Education, in short, ACGME. ACGME certification provides assurance that the training program meets the quality benchmarks. The board has defined 6 grounding principles which form the framework of a competency-based medical education in the US. Residents' performance is evaluated on the basis of these 6 core competencies. As a trainee, every so often I conjectured about the significance of these competencies. However, over time, I have been convinced of their status. As the classic adage goes, you must learn from the mistakes of others. You will not live long enough to make them all yourself. So in this and few subsequent posts, I have decided to be bold enough to display some personal accounts highlighting my 6 ineptitudes as it pertains to the 6 ACGME core competencies. I hope them to be involving, indulging, and informing. Today, I will focus on competency number 1, communication, or lack thereof, also known as miscommunication. Story number 1. I was at the hospital cafeteria with a bunch of co-workers. A beautiful colleague didn't get anything to eat, but just joined us at the lunch. It remains a mystery to date as to why she was there, but that's not the point. I was too intrusive to ask, "You aren't going to eat?" She smilingly said, "No, I'm trying to lose some weight as I'm getting married next month." "Great, congratulations," a few of us replied. Although that should have been the end, I continued with my unintelligent remark. "But you are not that fat." "That fat?" Result, I witnessed my transformation from being a friend to a rude co-worker. Story number 2. I was on call for 30 hours. It was a typical on-call day for my team. An inpatient team consisted of an intern, a medical student, and a senior resident. There were 4 such teams at the hospital. A team would conclude its work by 5 p.m. and then sign out to the on-call team. The sign-outs typically focused on vital tasks that need to be accomplished for specific patients by the on-call team at night. One of the teams signed out that Mr. Smith is undergoing an endoscopic ultrasound procedure in the morning. We discussed the procedure in some detail, and then the team asked us to check on his blood work. If his hemoglobin is low, order a blood transfusion to get him ready for the procedure. The focus was so much on this novel procedure that critical details were missed. When would the blood result be available? What does low mean? At what time is the procedure scheduled for? What is the level needed for the procedure to occur? And so forth. Nonetheless, the procedure didn't happen the next day as planned because Mr. Smith wasn't ready. Result: increased cost, a dissatisfied patient, an unhappy team, and an embarrassed myself. Story number 3. I was admitting a 70-year-old patient in the emergency room with rectal bleeding. It was 2:30 a.m. I was tired and sleep deprived. As I concluded the history and physical exam, I had to do a rectal exam. As I removed my gloved finger from his anus, patient asked, "Is everything okay, doctor?" Instead of saying it was okay, I said, "It was excellent." Result? Witty patient. I hope excellent was for my rectum and not your experience, doctor. Story number 4. This one is not from residency. I was a newlywed. My wife came late from dental school that day. We sat at the dinner table. She asked, "How was your day?" I answered, "It was okay. Usual day for me. How about you?" In my mind, it was a throwaway question. I was really not interested in a lengthy story. But alas, at home front, also, things don't always follow my wants. She, as usual, had a long-winded answer. At the end, I said, "That's interesting." She could sense my unfeeling response and my heartless, non-verbal communication. It was all fake. She angrily erupted. "I love telling you all my secrets since I know you aren't even listening." Result? I don't need to delve into any details, but suffice it to say, it was another married couple drama. Lastly, I want to underscore the importance of communication in healthcare by sharing a relevant research finding. A study in 2015 reported that miscommunication in US healthcare was linked to about 2,000 deaths in 5 years and $1.7 billion in malpractice costs. In summary, effective communication is of utmost importance in any field or relationship, but it is imperative in healthcare. Its absence leads to poor quality, higher costs, and negative patient outcomes. In the words of Teague Jr., nothing is so simple that it cannot be misunderstood. So, folks, let's strive for bridging the communication gap between confusion and clarity. Any thoughts about this post that resonated with you the most? I would love to hear your own takeaways, thoughts, or suggestions. Please chime in. Please subscribe, comment, share, and advise. Thank you so much for listening. Keep smiling.